What up, though, y'all? We got another great episode of Good Life Podcast coming to you from the 482 Hookah Lounge right here in Detroit on 6 Mile. And, you know, and it's a good life. You know what I'm saying? I just want everybody to know that it's always a good life, and we're going to keep on keeping on. But I'm here today with some interesting people, some I don't know, some I've been knowing, and all the vibes and the energy. If y'all was in here, y'all would be glowing, feeling real great just like me, because it's a bunch of great people in the house. So I'm going to let everybody take their time, start up here, introduce yourself, talk about your brand, talk about who you are.
Yeah, my name is Greg.
And speak up, because the heat thing is on.
Yeah. My name is Greg. I do a little bit of singing, a little bit of dancing. My go-to basically is Prince. I do a little sample. Here we go.
Here we are in this big old empty room, staring each other down. You want me just as much as I want you. I stop fooling around. Take me, baby, kiss me around. Play with my love. Bring up what's dead in me for far too long. Baby, you know that's all I've been dreaming of. Do me, baby.
So that's a little sample what I do, but
Hey, that should get some views right there.
Everybody loves Prince.
Yeah,
And where can they find you on? You got social media?
Yeah, I got social media, but my stuff is kind of private. But,
Okay, well then that's fine too.
Yeah.
That's fine. Everybody ain't on social media. You know what I'm saying? We just talking about that yesterday.
I'm swag right, Tony. I'm everywhere on social media. I'm very Google.
Like Google.
I rap, I produce, I'm the host of the 734 in Ann Arbor podcast, and I'm also the marketing director at AnnArborHub.com.
Hey.
And my name is Josie G. I'm an artist. I'm also a photographer and Swag's co-host on our podcast. And I'm a little newer to the area, but I've been doing music all my life. I like to dance. I'm highly creative. Love to paint like anything artistic I like to do.
So, my name King Records. I'm a hip hop artist, singer, entertainer, performer. Any stage that I get on, I be trying to jump off of it. Not trying to break my leg and everything. I write my own music. Definitely looking forward. Stay tuned to my manager. You know what I'm saying? She about to be turning things up. You know what I'm saying? And we about to be getting things popping. And that's it for now. You feel me? Stay tuned.
It's your boy Jay Royale, originally from Memphis, you know what I'm saying, Memphis, Tennessee.
You heard Memphis. Yeah, got that accent. Y'all can tell.
Originally from Memphis, touring artist, R&B, do singing, songwriting. Just dropped an album called Work of Art that just really went up in such a short amount of time that I'm really happy about. Like I said, just touring around in and out of every city, any state I get in where I fit in. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it, you know what I'm saying?
And this is my best friend, y'all. I just gotta let everybody know this is my best friend. Ladies, if you don't have a male best friend, get you one. I'm talking about a true best friend that give you real advice. It's great to have a best friend, a friend period, from the opposite sex that can tell you, certain advice and things like that. So.
Can't get a man, get you a stud.
That part. What we got next?
So do I go with you?
Now you talking.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, like Coach Mitch. I'm doing a plethora of stuff. I come over here, help out sometimes, do my little 1-2s on the podcast. I got an entertainment company. I got a management company. I do consulting, do life coaching, a clothing brand. Pretty much, I do everything. So, if you want to tap in on a financial literacy, even do a little chess, you know what I'm saying? Just don't know. But yeah, just tap in on all my socials, everything, Life Coach Mitch.
And this is Nettie manager. If y'all know the real Nettie Fire, this is her manager right here. So.
Amen.
And my life coach. So I got a best friend and a life coach. So I'm straight mentally and stable. Now I just need some more money. So.
That's all we here for.
I'm the Real Queen International. I'm a star, known as China Dollar Detroit. I model, I act, I do ad libs. I'm very well-rounded person, so I don't know, like, I just love my life and my artist friends, and CEO for 10 years is just a big opportunity in itself to be able to meet so many people from around the world. So yeah, this is my first time ever talking on a podcast. Thank you, friend.
Hey, okay.
So thank you for the confidence boost as well.
Yay.
I just recently did Light Up Liver Noise. Fantastic. I recommend it to anyone in the city, like especially when you're a teenager growing up and you want something to do for the summer. Go to Liver Noise, Light Up Liver Noise. Big shout outs to them. Other than that, I love my city, I love Detroit, and they put me on a map, so let's take it worldwide.
All right. My baby girl, me and her recently met, and the energy was on point. She's a Virgo, I'm a Scorpio.
Oh yes.
So we just linked and clicked, and it's been on and popping ever since. A sweetheart.
Okay, so let me tell you though. Oh, shout out to my queens and my kings as well. I have to do that because we are all queens and kings, honey. And on the side of that, on a note of that, I wish I had plenty more opportunities to be able to create and show more talent around the city. You know what I'm saying? You know, putting together showcases and everything, which we're working on. I do want to put that out there to everyone. There's something that I'm looking forward to, and there's something that we're in development of. So keep us in your contacts, keep us in your prayers, and know that this project is coming very, very soon. Here, I'm kind of nervous, Anna. Okay.
You're good. You're good.
But yeah, stay tuned. And you can follow me at The Real Queen International or China Doll of Detroit. 2 names. 1 alias. How do you get that? Right? Oh, you gotta be me, the queen. Okay.
All right.
And then last but not least, it's good. Everybody, I go by Mills The Difference. Follow me on all platforms at Mills, MILLZTHA. Difference is spelled the normal way. You can come tap in with me. Songwriter, I rap, I sing. Jack of all trades, feel me? Come tap in with me, get a feature, you know. Just come fuck with me. It's a ride, it's a vibe. You don't want to miss it for sure. So you want to South by Southwest this week, feel me? Got 3 shows out there. Yeah, so yeah, you don't want to miss it.
Shout out to the coalition for putting it together every year, putting the Sundays together, everything. So yeah, on and popping, heavy motion. I love it. And so for those of you who don't know, I'm Steph. Just call me Steph on Instagram. And I started this podcast almost a year ago, and it was last June, as a matter of fact. And it's been kind of slow. I've been learning a lot along the way. I started off of a Fresh Convo podcast and branched off into my own because he felt that I needed to have my own podcast because we talked about, it always turned into, his was more entertainment, and when I got on there, we started talking about like mental health things and issues that was coming up, and people was really like coming to me and talking to me. And I used to work in behavioral health, so I have a good listening ear. So I was like, okay, I'll try this podcast thing. It's been a whole journey. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Being in the entertainment, I've met a lot of dope people. I met a lot of people that I didn't realize in the beginning what it really entailed to be an entertainer, to be an artist, to be out here pushing your brand. It's hard, and the support, like, I don't even understand how people don't even be supporting their people out here because y'all working hard. And so I'm like, I just wanted to dedicate my podcast to the artists of Detroit, Memphis, California, everywhere. I've been traveling around meeting people, so I'm just trying to take this coast to coast, state, wherever, whatever. But I just wanted to have a voice for our artists to talk and really just like promote who they are, talk about who they are, and let people know, hey, this is not an easy game. Like, it's tough out here. Whatever you're doing, modeling, acting, dancing, I've met so many different people from different walks of life, and that's been involved in so much different entertainment aspects, and just like hearing the struggles. So I'm like, let's just get this out here. But that's what a podcast is for. And how hard was it to start a podcast? Literally, I'm filming off my cell phone right now, and I felt like it's gonna upgrade. But right now, we doing what we need to do to get the word out here, you know. So that's what it is. I feel like really excited because I want to announce that I am going to start managing. This will be my first client. I have a couple of other clients lined up. I am not a manager. Like I told you, I was working in behavioral health, and Reckless been believing in me for the longest. I got a couple other people that's been pounding my head for months, like, I need you, I need you, we need you, I need you, I need you. And I'm like, well, if everybody else is believing in me, I gotta believe in myself. So I'm taking a leap out on faith, and I'm just starting something new. So this is a Good Life podcast, but I want to introduce the new brand. It's gonna be AGL Entertainment, and that's gonna fall under podcasting. I want actors, singers, dancers, artists, whatever. My whole goal is I want to build a compound community of positive, like-minded people. So whatever that, I don't even know what the roadmap is. Like I just lost my job last week, my whole career, like due to like things that's going on with our president. I ain't gonna get off into it because we got maybe having a whole lawsuit and everything about it. But I looked at it as God removed me from that situation because it's something better on the break. And all the love and the support I've been getting, it's like, all right, let's do this. So this is the first time we announced the AGL Entertainment coming. That's what it is. You know, we got Reckless out here, you know what I'm saying, supporting J. Royal all the way from Memphis doing his thing, you know what I'm saying. We tapped in with East St. Louis, you know, and the map just gonna keep getting bigger and bigger, you know, but we need to start at home with our own people. Ann Arbor, you know what I'm saying, it's a land.
I was gonna say congratulations, because that's exactly how I came into the industry in 2016. I came in managing a couple of artists, and just over the course of the years, the pandemic happened, and I'm like locked in, doing my research, figuring out what I gotta figure out to do this whole DIY market, because so much of it's new. It's all, you know, starting to go really fast as far as, you know, things upgrading and the technology and the things that you need to know. So, like, even the laws are changing in music right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, by the time the pandemic happened, I'm like looking around me like, nobody working hard as I'm working. I might as well get out here and make this music myself. So that's what I did, that's where I'm at, and like I said, I try to get out here and connect with people like you who are like-minded, doing the same thing that I'm doing, and trying to support the artist community.
Yeah. So speaking of COVID, I'm just curious, how did you guys like manage like knowing that it wasn't no showcases happening, it wasn't, you couldn't go out and perform, and I know social media, but who wanna go first? Cause I see
So I can honestly say before COVID, I started out as a songwriter. I wasn't an artist prior to COVID, so I always did songwriting, background singing. So when COVID hit, it was kind of like one of those things where nobody wanted to be out. So I was like, well, I gotta find something to do. So during that time, I tried to keep myself occupied with just writing. The person that put me personally through artist development was that back in like late 2020, I believe. That's when I started going through my artist development with Kent that I was with. He really was just like, hey, things are gonna start picking back up. You know, just make sure you stay sharp with the pen. You gotta, you know, because it's all a mental game. You know, really, this whole music is like, it's all mental. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that you write about, everything you sing about, rap about, whatever, you know, you have to keep your mind focused on it. Don't worry about what's going on outside. You can only focus on yourself. So I took that as, okay, as long as I can stay sharp with my pen, you know, writing for other artists and everything, you know, it helped me to be able to not pay attention to what's going on outside, even though I'm used to moving around. I'm used to doing, you know, in and out the city, in and out of states, whatever, you know, just trying to cope with it the best way, like so far as like just writing, you know. So, and after, what was it, like I said, late 2020, I started going to artist development. I had to get talked into being a music artist. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got talked into it. I wasn't even supposed to do it.
that's how a lot of great things start, is you gotta get talked into, or somebody realize your potential that you didn't even know you had. You're like, oh, okay, That's why you gotta stay open-minded. Somebody may tell you something, you be like, nah, I don't do this. You can't stick to one thing.
That was definitely me. That was definitely me. Like, yeah, all this songwriting, I'm cool in the background, just let me chill.
Yeah. Pandemic. Let me start off here. Yeah, the pandemic took a lot away from me as far as my clientele went. Being an entertainer in the industry, you kind of will be faced with obstacles. Being a CEO, a business owner, the obstacles might be skyscraper high, and you don't even notice it because you're such a natural leader. Speaking of natural leader, I'm the oldest in my family, of 4. I'm the first girl born over my cousins. So when my father, he invested in me. My stepfather, his name is Ronald Clarence Murphy. He's music royalty. He is the second man to use a lathe cutting vinyl. We are worldwide connected. When I was growing up with him, he was engaged to my mother. He's Armenian. Okay, everybody thought this man was Caucasian, but he's Armenian, Sicilian, Native American. Learning from him, raising us around records and the family business. My mother's a singer. My father's a record cutting engineer. I became an entertainer because I was so in love with music, and I played the violin in high school, you know. I'm a child of God. I'm a very spiritual.
Amen.
And it was different for me, you know. I followed my heart. At the time when the pandemic happened, I was entertaining as well. Like I said, I'm starting well around this. I was acting, putting out a little music, entertaining people, and also modeling and just everything. Writing a book, actually. So a lot of my clients are elder, and I have very high respect for my elders. They taught me about life and what it is to be a queen in real life, like why we call ourselves queens and kings. That comes from a very deep family, you know, thing with me. I can't even put it in words. It felt like a ritual, you know, because this is passed down to my daughter, you know, my sons, and I lost a lot of my people. I mean, my fan base went from 5 point something to nothing at one point.
A lot of people passed away. It wasn't just that, you know what I'm saying? It was, people were dying left and right. Every time I clicked on social media and the churches, it was like, whoa. Like,
It was bad. I was working in an emergency room at that time, and to see people come in the waiting room one day, and 2 days later, they're literally in the back hallway under a sheet because there's not enough room in the morgue to take them down. Like, it was really bad. And to see people on social media downplaying it or saying it's all a conspiracy theory, people aren't really dying like that. I seen the bodies. It was real. Pandemic was real.
oh yeah.
Yes.
In the funeral industry, and you know, like the.
Wait a minute, you said what again?
My
The funeral.
You know, people in the funeral industry. My son's father is a mortician, and I remember him saying like, you know, they were running out of places to put the bodies. It's crazy.
It definitely was a real thing. Now, with the conspiracy, to a certain extent, in my head, I feel like it was a planned thing to wipe people out and to change the trajectory.
Population control.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah,
feel like that.
yeah,
Population
yeah,
control, so
and it's still having movement effects to this day. And you see how a lot of things are online. Even with courts, when I worked in foster care, and we did, you know, we had to do court hearings and stuff, and everything went to virtual. And like now, even with Wayne County, they still virtual. It's like at first that was unheard of. Work from home, virtual court. What do you mean? And all of a sudden, everything just changed completely. So.
I was on the board of the orchestra in my hometown, Southwest Michigan Symphony Orchestra, around the time that COVID hit. And so they're nonprofit organizations. So you can imagine, like, a lot of the artist guilds, when you're nonprofit, like, it's a very big struggle to stay afloat, right? So people I think, you know, yes, it was very unfortunate, but I think one thing is it, like, drove us to think outside the box and be even more creative. Like, we switched over to doing virtual shows and doing virtual tickets and having like these very private, intimate, like music sessions with people, and you see things like the Candlelight Fever
easy, even to this day, to look back on because that is also a form of artist development at that time.
One thing I saw through that was resilience, and people adapted, and some did. We had to adapt, we had to bounce back. But I always felt like no weapon formed against God's people shall prosper. So whatever you try to fire at us, we gonna figure out how to survive. Even from back living on plantations and stuff, when they would throw the scraps of the pigs and the stuff that some people don't agree with eating, we turned it into soul food. We made it something. So you can try to throw us scraps and we gonna turn it into a whole meal and take care of what we gotta do what we gotta do. So kudos to us for being resilient and still being here.
I feared for other places, but I knew Detroit, nothing can kill music here. Nothing can kill music in Detroit. If we gotta go outside and be on our porches, in the streets, playing the music, drumming on whatever, we gonna get a beat going, somebody gonna sing, somebody gonna rap, and somebody gonna do something that you ain't even seen before.
And in a way, it brought people closer together too, right? Because I remember seeing, like on CNN, they were showing like the streets of Italy, and everybody's hanging out of their windows and singing, and you know, it's just like so much camaraderie and people coming together to support each other.
Exactly. If you don't mind, I'm gonna implement this. People never wanted to be apart, and I think that's what the pandemic has really chosen to teach us, because we didn't get to choose at that time. We were all set down like children that we are of God, and we had to listen. And for America to see how obedient we were and how obedient we still are, just in our own separate ways, that's a huge win for us. I just had to put that out there. I think we don't get enough credit sometimes. We're not celebrated enough. You know, and it was my big thing to be like, oh, well, Prince might not celebrate birthdays. I get it, because that was his key to his youth. But for the rest of us, it's okay to be celebrated every single day of your life. Every time you accomplish something, get you a sip of tea and say, this is for me.
Yeah.
Cheers to myself and my family, you know?
Yeah.
Or just cheers to myself and my thing, you know? Have that type of love for yourself.
Those are some of the key things I've been learning on this journey is celebrate every little step, every little milestone, and speak it all into existence. Speak it out your mouth. Speak positive stuff. You know, a lot of times when I used to be like, I'm broke as hell, I ain't got no money. I was broke. And now I don't say that no more. And I ain't even got a job and I'm not broke. You know, so it's all about manifesting what you want and speaking it out and staying positive. You know?
And putting that work in afterwards.
That part. That part. You got to put one foot in front of the other.
You gotta put action behind those words.
Without works is dead.
That
I
part.
definitely put that during the pandemic. Like I ain't let this. I did concerts at the crib and stuff like that. Live concerts. It was fun for me doing karaoke. It was fun. It was something to do. Maybe like so I was still out in the streets. I just couldn't believe that I had it. You know, I wasn't gonna believe that. So I still went to like little secret parties and stuff like that. Close up, you know what I'm saying? We like park your car in the back and stuff like that. So nobody can see.
So you the super spreader.
Watch what you say.
I got diagnosed with lupus around the time right before COVID hit, and so for me it was really traumatic because I not only was I kind of like forced to stay inside because of my diagnosis, but because your immune system is so compromised that, and I know somebody who had lupus and got COVID and died because of that. Immune system just couldn't maintain it, so it was hard for me. I went from being corporate woman, and I used to work at Whirlpool, we were there for like 10 years, going to from being in the office every day, and I'm really social. I love talking to people, to like being just going 100% remote, and I've been remote work now since COVID. So like this is how I get out and interact with people is through my music, which I'm really grateful for. But it was definitely very isolating, and I know that's hard on people's mental health too.
It is.
Isolated like that.
You know, my friend Roscoe, he's a model, and he's a leader as a model as well. And he was with me for our runway show, and he has he's done a podcast, but he also has an exhibit that he runs, and it talks about mental health. It's called It's Okay Not to Be Okay. And if you ever get any time, please look him up at Roscoe the Model. And I should say .com, egofriend.com. But you can find him on all platforms. And he just really breaks up and breaks it down, mental health awareness, for anybody that wants to check him out.
Mental health is very important. I released a song a couple of years ago called Problems. And it's just kind of one of those songs that anytime I'm going through something, I just listen to it, try and work through it, get past it, and then move on with my life after that. So I dropped that song, and then also a meditation track, because I'm a believer in meditation, along with it. So
One thing I noticed being around artists, a lot of y'all's music comes through the things, your experiences, the things that you've been through, and I didn't really realize, and you never know how many songs you hear on the radio, like that song is actually talking about something or something that somebody's been through. And it's to the point, I'm not an artist, but it's made me want to maybe get into music or write poetry, because when I've been writing some things down, and it feel good to actually get it out and see it and then overcome it and go back and look at it like, dang, I was going through that and I ain't going through that no more. I made it through it. So it's like my little map. So maybe I might start writing poetry.
You should, because for creatives, it's therapy, right? It's our therapy.
I linked up with Josie.
Yeah.
We got our song on her album, and it was like I was going through some breakup stuff, and like I hadn't really worked through it yet. She's like, "Come on, bro, we're gonna write."
We're gonna work through it.
Yeah.
I talk my little stuff
That's
on
your
there.
testimony. You share that with people, and that helps them. Okay, this person went through that. I can get through this too. It's definitely deeper than just it's just a song. We write that for us. That's how we get through things.
Right.
I love authenticity though on the song though. I just don't like the cameras and stuff like that. I like people that be real, actually go through something. That's what my music be about. It be about real stuff I actually have been through, and I will talk about it. I don't want to put people's names in it, but I put like a verse in it or something like that, and if the shoe fit where you might hear, you be like, okay, this nigga talking about me.
We all got situations that we go through, and we think we the only one going through it, but life is repetitive. You've been through it, me, somebody else been through it. It's really not too much new in this world.
It ain't
Nothing new under the sun.
Yes. And that's when I started my podcast and certain things that we would talk about. People would hit me up like, "Hey, you was talking about that? I've been through. I want to come on there. I want to tell my story." And because I know when I talk to people, because I'm recently divorced, so that was like a tough divorce I went through, and it was like when I started talking to people about their situations and stuff, it kind of helped me move past it. And it's like it's light at the end of the tunnel. Because at one point I'm like, this is never gonna end. We just fighting it. It took longer than it had to. But it was like that support system was like, look, it's gonna end. And then when it ended, it was like, oh, okay. So definitely linking with people who are like-minded and been through some of the same stuff can help you through your traumas and stuff. Because we are not alone in this world. Trust me, everything that you done been through, that one person done been through, somebody else, 100,000 other people else on this earth has been through it. So it's all about, just telling your testimony, getting your word out there, like, no, it's gonna be okay. Since being released from my employment, we saw a lot of mental health and a lot of suicide. Well, people unaliving themselves, and that really like hit me hard because at one point I was in that place, and I had to remove myself, and I'm glad I'm still here, and just talking to people who were there and didn't go there, and glad they still here. So just. Yeah, it's like, dang, you know what I'm saying? So it's important to have that support system. And it's important to have anybody. A lot of people feel like they don't have nobody to talk to. And that's why I'm so supportive.
Is important. That's why I love the music community so much, because there's times where I might be feeling down, I don't really feel like life, and I'll go into a room with all my music people from Ann Arbor area, such as like a 734 Saturdays. That's our local open mic that is really friendly to our hip hop community. We all come together there. I can walk in that room and I'm like 5 feet in the door. I already got 5 hugs. So I really love that I've been able to find a tribe in this music thing. As it gets bigger every day, as I come to things like this, I meet more and more people that I have personal connections with.
That's funny you said that because I was just thinking like, I've been in about a year in this, and all the music showcases and stuff. You go, you see a person once, and you see him again, and you start seeing like Mills. I just started seeing him. He a real cool person. We just start talking and things like that. And I prefer to be in this community versus I went to a regular bar, and it was just like I didn't feel it. But when I come to the events, the showcases and stuff like that, you get the love. I'm like, this home. This is where I want to be. You know.
Haters don't feel comfortable in these rooms.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That part.
They get on, they'll come
Right.
around, haters will come to a couple of showcases and then they won't come
Irritate them
out.
demons.
Again, you know, see, he knows the truth about music. Our people, you know, they're very particular kind of people. You know, coming out of the pandemic, since we all been through it together, here comes the rise of New Detroit. Love to say this. This is what I love to get into. And don't forget, I started my business in 2010. My father passed away in 2009. Coming out of the pandemic took a lot of loss. I mean, men were, they felt separated. Women's self-esteem, I don't know why, they shift to be a very low, besides why. You get what I'm saying, because we're women. Men, to me, they stepped up in a way to where it was concerning, is what it was. It was that we needed their protective nature because they're natural protectors. And the world knows that. And the women, they followed suit. It was because we came out all over again. And this is when things took their natural place in alignment in our society. And the men were kind of staring me in the directions where I needed to go. They were like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Here comes this, what is it, OnlyFans. I said, okay, wait a minute. Hold on. I know the background. What was it? Space age pimping. I'm not doing that. So that's the first thing I thought of. But then I watched that one man make millions. I can't say his name now. But this king made so much money off of that network. It was just, he's irreplaceable. Then I watched a woman who had the most beautiful voice I've ever heard. I don't even know her name, this queen. But like you said, subliminal, we make that up. So if you hear me relating to you, you know it's you, so take them shoes and wear it, honey. You definitely have a beautiful voice, and she had such an incredible aura about her. She attracted so many people, millions of people, and she became successful as an equal of man. So it was, to me, it was like, oh, this isn't my thing, but it also helped someone else, and it was it took a negative, turned to a positive, and Detroit it's so thick on Detroit. You know, everybody from Detroit, you gotta get it out the mud. They're not gonna baby feed you. None of that's gonna happen. They wanted us, when we started making our money, if you wasn't in the system, and not in the system, I'm saying food stamps and welfare assistance, honey. I'm talking about J-O-B, a job, 9 to 5, honey, in the system, okay?
But what I have seen that when you go out of town, the love is different. You get so much support when you go out of town.
Man.
It's crazy.
Even Detroit has been different. As somebody from the outside looking in, I really want to commend Detroit men, especially in the last 6 months. They have stepped up and just did what they had to do for the community, whether it be, you know, moms who need help, these little girls who are getting taken advantage of by grown men. Big shout out to 7 Mile Radio for helping those kids that were out on the porch. Like, the men in Detroit are different. You hear so much about the red pill movement and all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
The men in Detroit are different. They standing down they standing on business for their community, and they ain't playing about Detroit. And it's part of what is taking to Detroit to a next level. You know, not even nationwide, worldwide. They see what Detroit.
I'm sorry,
is doing.
already have. We already did that. We're already over that. We're on. We're on this type of mode. See, we invented all that. Everything they're doing now, they're just taking it back from the textbooks. This is why I kind of try to remind our people that we're smart.
So what about, we have this, I guess, argument where they're trying to say that the women are taking the more masculine role, and the males are taking a more feminine role.
Because if it's weak ass niggas, then they put women in them type of predicaments to take the masculine role. Because all women should be living in their femininity and shit. But if weak ass niggas put women in that predicament, then they gotta be masculine.
Right.
I feel like people are their experiences. Everybody just being themselves. You might have came across a lot of females that are masculine, and that's just because they ain't had people looking out for them their whole life, and they done had to be hard. They done had to be strong.
Yeah,
they had to do what they got to do to take care of themselves, their kids, their family, their mama, their daddy. So when you come across a woman that's hard, you should really give her a reason to be soft.
Yes,
Mhm.
because I've had to play that role like for a very, very long time in my life. I was always having to be the breadwinner, always the one, having to pull myself up by my own bootstraps and make sure I find a way to make shit work. And it took me being in a relationship with somebody who allowed me the space to feel safe, to where I didn't have to worry about those things. I didn't have to worry about going outside and working on my car because I had money working. I had somebody
Taking the
that-
trash out, shoveling the snow.
Exactly. I had somebody who's giving me the space to be soft and feminine. We can do that. We have the capacity to do that as women. But for us to live in that space for a very long time, it becomes taxing on our mental health. And I definitely was in that space. I had a lot of damage from a mental capacity because of that. Like being able to that's why all my music is so lovey-dovey and soft and free and vibey, because I'm able to live in my femininity now. I can get my nails done. I don't have to worry about breaking them, doing some hard work.
Right.
I can go cook and clean all day if I want to. I can sew if I want to, and I like doing those things.
Giving women the time and the tools on top of that. Like not expecting a woman okay, I'm the man in the house, now you gotta change today. She might need to go see a therapist and work through how to even be different, because she is so ingrained in her. She's been doing it for so many years, that's what she used to. You really gotta come to somebody as a partner and not victimize them for things that they've already been victimized by in life.
I thought I was ready to be in a relationship like that until I realized, man, I'm so used to being in this type of relationship. This nigga won't argue with me. I'm trying to tell you how I feel. You won't say nothing because he don't want to, he doesn't want to cause any confrontation. That kind of stuff takes getting used to. And yes, I highly recommend, if you had to live that kind of life as a woman, I highly recommend therapy, because you got to work through that stuff and get rid of the baggage and learn how to heal so that you can be in a happy, healthy relationship and know that it's okay to be in a space like that without feeling like you're going to be in danger. We get that kind of space, we're like, oh, I don't know if I should I be soft? Is he going to turn around and hurt like me?
You definitely got to be patient. You definitely got to be patient.
Takes
You
a lot of
definitely can't put the blame on her because she's been through it before and she's just working through it. So it's good to be patient, and then both of y'all can definitely work things out the right way it should be.
I also think a lot of truths, during the opening, reopening, a lot of truths has come out. So people have got comfortable. That's why I want to add to that, with telling the truth to each other. Because when you understand, how the universe actually works, you're going to be like, dang, they've been lying to us our whole life. Now I got to reprogram everything.
You got to unlearn everything
you've been taught. I really have to look at life like people really are going through it. Because I can never say personally on my own, I thought of anything close to what everybody even said a long time ago. I became more open towards accepting different walks of people, what they're going through in life. And I just didn't judge them. I never judge people because it's the right thing to do. Just when the time comes, though, if my opinion is needed, then God should call on me, and I should be like, well, you know what? I think you shouldn't do that because the fire's hot.
So much of the time as Black people, we're beat down and hurt with our vulnerabilities. So just getting to a space where we're open and comfortable with being vulnerable with even the people in our close circle. We hide a lot of stuff from everybody except for our bestie.
It's a lot of people, even me, even myself. I'm a private type of person, but I'm open. If it makes sense, I'm open, but I'm private. But a lot of things I'm not gonna share, but then I may overshare some things that I shouldn't probably overshare so much. But you feel shamed about some of the things that we have done or had to do or been through, and you don't talk about it, you bottle in. That's why I'm a big advocate for therapy. And some people say therapy don't work. Maybe that therapist didn't work. There's probably somebody else that can talk.
Find you a black therapist. They out there now.
Yeah, they are.
Thank God.
Yeah. I'm on that path now. You know, I'm going back to school. So definitely. But find somebody to talk to. Heal yourself before you go jumping into relationships, because hurt people hurt people. Literally, if I don't know no better, and I'm gonna keep bleeding all over you, and then you gonna be hurt, and then it's just a continuous cycle. So at some point, we gotta figure out how to change that, how to break that, how to heal ourselves before we come on with somebody else, and then mess with it. That's the part. Everything is I call it a microwave society.
But that, even with like therapy and all that other stuff,
Somebody else speak up.
I said even with therapy, like you have to know what you're going to therapy for, or even what you want to work on. Like my wife, she's so, like now with us, we kind of an anomaly because we know how to communicate. Like that's our profession is to communicate. But you may have generational things that you thought were okay. I mean,
So how is that marriage with a therapist and a life coach? I know y'all have great conversations.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the core of it, everything boils down to communication. This whole
Say
thing.
it a little bit louder. Communication.
Yeah, but you have to have a ear to hear, and then you have to. The main thing is understand your partner too. I'll give you a small example. Like certain things that we do, we don't even know that's wrong when we do. Like, for instance, when we were a kid, like if they clean club, we don't realize who adults do. That's what you do. But to you, that was just my mom and never let me leave the table unless I ate or finish my food or whatever. But you didn't even know that's a childhood trauma.
Yeah.
You don't even think that that's a bad thing or something that happened or whatever. Just small things like that. But if I don't know that, how can I communicate with you or help you? Because I don't even think something I grew up with was wrong.
Right.
So it's small things like that. But the main thing is communication. Even with, like, we have a competition on infidelity. Now, your definition of infidelity maybe just, it's not just like mine, maybe the other somebody's one, or outside communication, anything like that. But if you don't break down and understand communication with the partner, you're not gonna know that that was wrong thing to do, or something was supposed to move, or anything like that. But even with therapy, I would say, I definitely recommend therapy. I definitely recommend couples therapy if this person you want to be with, and just respecting the person. Stop making iron, man. You can make iron.
That part.
Piggyback on everything y'all just said, it's in every situation different. You just gotta understand, like you said, communicate with that person. Because that's something that you gotta realize that some people still in their ways too. But outside of that, to truly just understand like who that person is and where their trauma stem from, to be able to see if you can help them or not. A lot of people only go surface level when dealing with a person or like engaging, so like they never do the deep work to truly understand like what that person is wrestling with, to know if that even is something that they want to wrestle with, because like if we just keep it like on the sex part, which most people normally do, like you really mixing your spirit with somebody else. So like you don't know what that person battling with, and that could be fake ego, all type of things, so you just gotta you just gotta know that person and stop being so surface level with getting to know a person, because at the end of the day, like the reason we're so-called separated is because of the system, or whatever you want to call it. We ain't gonna talk about it because they listen. But anyway, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah, they broke us up. They incarcerated us. They killed most of it. You know, they killed us off. You know, they put y'all in a position where y'all felt y'all had to be masculine, but nobody ever told y'all that y'all had to do that. But y'all just had to do that because y'all was put in a position to do that. You know?
Survival.
But
On the survival
at the end of the day, it's still men out here who like who were raised and grew up right, knowing what it means to be a man. It's just not many of us are. Yeah, you just gotta be real choosy when it comes to. I wouldn't even say choose. You just gotta really take the time and delegate to that person to understand what they got going on, what they condition, if y'all need compatible.
That's the thing. My biggest thing is give them 90 days. I swear, you give a job 90 days, give the relationship time to flourish and grow, because a lot of times, like you said, we hop into the bed real quick, and then we got these soul ties now, and then we start seeing red flags off rip that we ignore because we tied now, and then those flags are not gonna go away. And all it's gonna do is turn into something toxic in the end. So take your time. It's no rush. What's the rush in things, you know? It's all good in the beginning. You know, when you go for the job interview, when you meet that person, we on that first date, everybody on their best behavior, everybody clean, they shining, looking good, things like that. But eventually that facade falls off, and that's who the person, when that real person shows up, that's who you really want to get to know.
I heard there's so many people that's with people that they really don't want to be with.
Due to certain circumstances,
crazy.
yeah.
In this recession, a lot of people are just together for financial.
Yeah, they just, it's like,
Mhm.
it's like they just, they're just like, I'm just there for that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Just numb.
Like it's so many people that's together that don't really want to be together.
Yeah.
Like so many people
But
got
you
each
have
other and
rent
holding
on
down.
time every month, so
The
we'll be
bills is
together.
paid. I was one of those people. I stayed married. We had a home. We had nice income, cars. We had that. I stayed unhappy because I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to do, you know. But I was doing what he wanted to do. I was being who he wanted to be, and it was making me miserable. And it was just like I just kept on saying, I gotta get away. I gotta release because I have to be me. When you try to be who you not being for somebody else, it's not gonna work. And eventually it's gonna spill out. So you're gonna explode. So you have to. And like you said, I just been thinking about getting some properties and stuff like that. Like, and
Talk to me.
yeah, yeah.
And our
Because we got
homeless
homeless crisis going on too.
we work with. Shout out to Epic Realty, Modern Living Collective in Ann Arbor.
Look at this, I love it. Connect.
That's what it's all about in this music industry. And then, like you said, real estate. It's the number one, the longest business on earth, except for what she mentioned earlier, is the OnlyFans.
Right.
So, and it's more reliable than the stock market. So I really encourage anybody who is interested in real estate, send me a DM at Swag Right Show on Instagram, or my business partner Tanya Hill at Treetown Homes on Instagram to get your journey started. Because even if you're not ready today, we can get you ready. We can hook you up with a lender. I'm not a realtor, she is. But we can hook you up with a lender and get you going on the process, so you can get there in 3 years. Your credit might not be where you need it to be right now, but the lender will get you there because that's how they make the money. So then make sure you get to where you gotta get to and have the paperwork you gotta have together to get it started. Don't be afraid, just get it started today.
You know what's so crazy about the housing market right now? So I'm the type of person that if I can't get what I want at that time, I won't want it. And also, I know a lot about how they're buying the land in Detroit. So let's just say every time I look at something that I like, it's gone. It's like, okay, I posted this house one day and I swear, like, and it wasn't even our people. Let me put it to you like that. This was people from out of the whole United States. trying to buy a house here.
The uncertainty in our government right now is causing people who have money to invest in things that are reliable, and real estate is the most reliable. And the Detroit area is one of the fastest growing areas in America. It's almost guaranteed money if you buy homes or land here that you're gonna make a profit, over the next 10 years, because not only are Detroiters investing in Detroit and making the community better, the city of Detroit is invested in Detroit like it never has in my lifetime. I'll be 40 this year, and the state is stepping in to do programs like through MISHDA, where they're doing the first time home buyer program, which is something that is really going to help people in Detroit, because there's a lot of people in Detroit, you qualify if your parents haven't owned the house in the last 4 years. That's a lot of Detroiters.
See, and that's why I like that they start doing these free classes. And don't forget, you can go to these free classes to learn.
NACA is a great down payment assistance program, and they do their classes right here in Detroit. I believe it's right on Woodward. And get with them. They put you with a coach that help you get your paperwork together, help you get a lender, and they give you your down payment, and it's depending on the area, the price of the area, what your down payment you get from them, and then they'll put you with a realtor. And then boom, you're in
Forget about
there.
FHA too. Like I did FHA for my first house when I bought my house as a flipper, and had it, for maybe 8 years, but remodeled everything ourselves, like down to put a lot of sweat equity into it, and it's like really, really paid off. So like if you're willing to do the work too, then you can always look at houses that are maybe a little bit lower that you can put sweat equity into.
And that's the advantage of Detroit as well, is because there's so many people out here who can do that work for a good price.
Yeah,
There are very
remember.
talented people. You do have to do your research. You need to make sure they're licensed, accredited, all that
But
stuff.
you gotta
See their work.
remember, okay, I gotta bring it there, what happened, the cause effect of what happened. So now we're at this point where we understood what happened, if you get my drift. So now that we got that together, now we have a system. Because before, they said, this is what's gonna happen with this deportation and stuff. There was nothing available. We fought for that. The North did, us Detroiters, Michiganders, and people beside us. We fought for that together as a nation to say, hey, wait a minute, what you doing? We gotta figure this out. So I'm proud to have people like you in this session right now that can steer us in a greater direction as well today. But yeah, I told people, I said, there's land open now, you guys, you better start investing. So yeah.
Even if you get it, just hold on to it, pay the property taxes over the next 10 years, you can sell it and make you a good profit. There's corporations that are buying up big plots of land to put up apartment buildings and everything else, especially around Corktown, Southwest, and even getting up into the west side here.
So we got about 5 minutes left, y'all, but my thing is, if you got some money, go get you some property. Turn it up in
If
the
you
club.
don't got a whole lot of money, get
$10,000.
you with a couple friends and family members and put your own money
together.
together.
Get a lot,
Yeah.
buy a lot.
Yeah, that's what me and my siblings is on now. We trying to find us some land so we can build on, and we can all stay in one little area, and you got to build that community. Got to
That's
go
what
back.
family compound.
That's
Property
what my
tax.
parents just did.
Floaty houses.
My parents got like 6-7 acres out in our hometown.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Nothing but blackberries and stuff in there, but they're getting their house built now, but they're gonna do that, start parceling it out to my aunt, my grandfather.
See?
And y'all lucky in Detroit, y'all can build tiny homes. They don't allow that in Ann Arbor. You can't do nothing less than 800 square foot, I believe it is.
That's what I was saying, the floaty homes are tiny homes.
About an Amazon home shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Walmart.
I couldn't fit. My closets would be a tiny home.
yeah, same.
Yeah, I'm struggling now. I'm in a kind of.
I love the tiny homes as starter houses.
They're beautiful.
Where kids in their 20s and all of these kids who are emancipated and out here in 16, 17, 18 on their own, they have a place to go. It's theirs. They can take care of it because it's small. It's not a lot of price on upkeep or DTE, because DTE just raised rates again this month.
And
So-
we say that nothing new is under the sun, right? So like Sears back in like early 1920s.
So the box house.
That's the house that I actually got one of those Sears homes.
Really?
learn how to live efficiently too, right? Can't have a lot of stuff, a lot of clutter.
Well, I thank everybody for coming on, and you know, we could talk all day about all the issues and things like that arise in the conspiracy things, because like I said, I'm heavy into that because I believe in some of it, not all